got disconnected, but it was just a flub on your part. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
self-admitted error. Yes.
Right. Also, a self-admitted error for me, and I do apologize for this one. I said there was 2 players from Singapore and NKT. That's not true. Indonesia is where Excurate is from, and Impression is from Singapore. So my bad. I've got bad geography. I'm a scrub.
Flags look similar. Understandable.
Techno. Decent chip damage with the grenade as he decides to pull the plug and fall back. And Kulas is going to do his best to hold the tight angle, but NKT already pushing down the stairs. One has already been claimed. It is the man himself, Impression. But Zine straight back in to rip off the head. Now the frag's coming in thick and fast. And it's NKT who's standing a 2-on-4.
Yeah, well out in front here, taking control of that upper site. Score going to go ahead and get that bomb planted here. Techno and Bartak just trying to make that rotation together. So they are now trying to split up, trying to maybe take into heaven. Bartak trying to take into main here. Nice little headshot on to Score, but now a lot of awkward angles he must deal with to get into the site. And that nade, ooh, it's going to soften him up.
It certainly does. It actually kind of forces them as away, and I think they may just be opting to save. They have Kevlar, they've got low players, not much time, no kits, and Zine not too far off, claiming himself another one here. And this would be brutal. The side of Checkmate, should they lose both of these players after trying to save? And it's looking like that may be the outcome. Zine gets put down by Bartak, but here comes the push in, and he will not survive. No players come out for the CTs.
Yeah, so no, I guess, armor or utility. Gonna be able to get carried over here by Checkmate. NKT will have the full-fledged advantage coming into this next round. We do see the deco buy up here from Checkmate. A scout included in that on Coolast, which is a very dangerous name to say, Vince. I feel like there might be some blunders on that one.
Oh, yeah. Could be worse, though.
Could it?
Yeah, there's a player called KNTZ over on the side. He's the 6th player. So yeah, that's that for Impression,
especially for you and the slang in your region. That
right.
is especially a tough one. Yeah.
So it could be worse, but Techno has removed the header score before the even trades come back and forth. Decent damage from Bartak, but he has to pull the plug.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment with like having issues with names is there was one time I commentated a match, it may have even been with you, where it was Big versus NIP. And I'm sure you can imagine how that went.
Classic
Something
matchup.
about pepperonis, yeah.
which also, you know, that was a meme for a while, ripping pepperonis for NIP players. Excurate in the meanwhile, though, with his Galil, splatters down the first. Oh, they're not going to check the angle. And Hasteka could be in for 2. Needs to line the headshots. There's 1 and a second. As Impression was already low, that's the bomb that's dropped down. And Urcast in no position to remedy the situation. This has horribly gone wrong.
Yeah, it absolutely has. They now have weapons. They have bomb under their possession. They have man advantage. This is looking quite grim. They need to work quickly, too, as the clock is very low. Coolass already getting a tag onto Aircast to make it even more difficult. That Zine's still trying to creep in. He may be able to catch Coolass off guard, depending on the timing with this MAC-10. Indeed, able to pick up that kill, but does get tagged along the way. And so, yeah, this is over. The Gleos will get carried over by the CT side. They will win the round. They get the 1-1 split. And now things get very dicey, as both economies are very fragile right now, in particular NKT's.
Yeah, they'll be feeling worse for wear, and that's 2 Galils that go into the next round. Checkmate looking pretty after their win. They also get the round loss as well coming in. And it's all about this Deagle play. I'm kind of surprised with 50 seconds that neither of those 2 players just doing their due diligence and checking the angle. They're in no great rush. And 2 of the simplest kills that Hasteka could really ask for, bomb goes down, as you can see. And that was just the round pretty much done at that point.
Yeah, absolutely correct. No real way back after that moment. We do see the buy back up here from NKT. Aircast still has that AK, MAC-10 for Zine, Tech-9s and a Deagle across the board. So they're still trying to maybe scrap their way into something, this kind of economic battle of chicken, as they all do make it down to secret. But they check the corner this time.
Oh, yeah. Make sure that corner never has a pesky CT in there ever again. Azteca, though, has changed his angles. Now down on the staircase, down towards the control room.
It's a good-looking lad, by the way, on that picture we see.
Oof. Head has been removed from Urcast, but not without any cost. They lost 2 players and score tagged down to 37. So although Azteca may very well have been put to the sword, it's still a huge task ahead of NKT. They have 40 seconds allocated to them still on the clock, and Zion will be trying to rummage way in towards the heaven area, bypassing the lockers where there is a CT laid in wait, but this is going to need to pick up a bit of pace here, and if Zion drops down, he's going to be heard. Oh no, he actually uses the silent drop. So that player in lockers still has no idea.
He's not checking, though. Oh no.
Surely not. How?
What? He gets past him and gets a kill on ramp anyway. Now they have main advantage in lower sight. How has this happened? The timing must have been unreal on that.
Oh no, Kulast has just absolutely let his teammate get fragged down. It's given downstairs control across to NKT, and now Blitz has to try and push back in with his teammate. Back and forth, this economy will go. And this time it's the CT's turn to feel the burn as their finances crumble in front of them.
The only thing I can think is Coolass must have already committed to like going through the windows of locker back to outside, and so never actually saw Zine come through hell into ramp room. And therefore that communication was never there. And so Zion's still able to get the jump on the ramp player despite him walking basically right by Coolass. I would love to have seen that from Coolass's perspective, because that was such a critical moment in the round, and now NKT have a chance to kind of redeem themselves from losing round 2 and still wind up with a decent little lead here as we get into the meat of this first half.
Yeah, in many ways, this is kind of one of the worst case scenarios for the CT side, because should you lose this, you're into an eco, and the Ts have such a stranglehold over the early stages of the map. Blitz now taking the same position where Azteca was taking last time, just slightly more deep angle, but it's a Deagle as opposed to the M4. Still puts it downrange, though, as Score loses his head, even trade back and forth.
Yeah, really nicely done there from Blitz to get the best out of that. Zion continues to just be kind of this lurking type player on the outside position. Again, a role he was definitely really well known for on MVP when he played in the Korean scene. 4-on-4 situation here as we get into the mid-round. Still some banana peels out there for NKT to slip on, as there are still some upgraded pistols out there. They have lost a player. Zion's low on health. It's going to keep abusing this heaven wrap, NKT. But Bartek is watching for it from the floor, so at least it's not completely unguarded.
Feels like it's a one and done for Bartek, though, like, surely. But they don't force out. That looked like it could get dangerous really quick, and although another headshot has been funneled in, it falls into Impression, who had more than enough HP to swap that one away. Zion now with his MAC-10 in midair claims the last frag of the round, and it will be the force buy, yielding nothing in return. And now NKT have a phenomenal opportunity to extend their lead further.
Yeah, absolutely. No money available for Checkmate to get anything going, so it should be kind of a freebie for NKT to get the 4-1 lead. And on top of that, they still have that MAC-10 in play on Zion, so he'll be able to maybe even farm some extra dollars. They already have a pretty healthy economy. If they can win this round clean and Zion gets a couple of kills, they will be well set up for the bulk of this half. As we see Checkmate trying to go for a bit of a gimmicky ramp stack, which is, you know, the type of play you expect in a round like this. Really your only hope at causing a disturbance.
Disturbance will unlikely bother NKT too much. And Zion, again, he has the expendable weapon at the back 10. He may as well go in first. And hey, he may even get a ton of frags and a ton of money in his back pocket as a result. Excurit's fallen down, though, and Zion is down to 4 HP. But now the cavalry comes in as Bartak with a MAC-10 has been forced away from vents. He's given up position, runs through the fire and flames, nearly takes down Impression, who survives on 11.
Bro, if I would have died to that, I'd be fuming. But this guy just runs through a Molotov. I like the idea, though. I mean, think about it. You know, he's got a MAC-10. It's his only way to maybe get a kill, get into a 1v1. I applaud the tenacity. But in the end, it is the victory we expected of NKT as they take this 4-1 lead with the buyback now here for Checkmate, and now things get interesting. This is their chance to fight right back into this.
Well, certainly warning shots, and NKT at no point have they looked completely stable or in control. Yes, they're 4-1 in the lead. Yes, Checkmate have had their issues, but even in these ecos, even these full USP rounds, they're losing multiple players, and you can see the Excurate's down to $0. Sure, the rest of the team is pretty healthy, but if they should lose this round, then Checkmate can breathe down their necks again. Now, outside control has been a consistent factor, as it so often is for Nuke, of course. But NKT seem to be getting downstairs and outside so easily with very little resistance.
Yeah, they've been able to also test Heaven a few times without really much of a look from Checkmate. And that round they got outside, I think there was only one smoke down. It wasn't even the full-on smoke wall to get to Secret, but there's just no one even watching it. They're just playing more towards vents and just kind of dedicating a player basically watching back halls. And so, therefore, they're kind of just giving up outside so they can kind of just double up and set up this crossfire here, as you can kind of see with Coolass and Co. Coolass, though, gets dunked on by a grenade. But Blitz on this flank catches them in the back, and that was what they were looking for the whole time, Vince.
That's the play that they were trying to really explode into and release that trap. Zion, in the meanwhile, has had so much influence and impact and success playing aggressive, mainly with the MAC-10, but now with the AK, the traded up weapon, finds himself, has Tekka, and is able to transition into another one. Bartak falls by the wayside. The trajectory of that grenade gives Techno's position away. They know he's Heaven, but there's only 22 seconds left. Grenade does nothing. Barely scratches the surface. Exactly. And they capitalized on that as they chomped down on Blitz, and there was no re-engagement from Heaven either. 10 seconds to play with. One of these three is going to be preoccupied with the bomb plan, but Zine, it's so damn good right now as he picks up an ace.
Yeah, Zine, again, known for his time in Korea on MVP as that guy who was just a very intelligent player when it came to his lurks and his timings on looking to find gaps in the defense. And while his team goes behind off this great crossfire play from Blitz and Co. and lower, Zine creeps onto upper, evens it right back up, holds a dominant position under Heaven to allow the plant. And again, they were able to get the read on that mini player thanks to that grenade trajectory. Gave Zion the intel he needed to flip over, get that frag as well, and that basically solidified the round. Now NKT up 5-1, Checkmate back into saving territory, and there's now an opportunity for NKT to put together a very dominant offense on this opening map of the series.
Oh, no doubt. And one of the other scary prospects of this for Checkmate is Zion is playing such great CS with entry frags, but he's not exactly reinventing the wheel with how he's playing. He's just basically walking out into these vulnerable aspects, and his aim is on point. And when someone's on such a heater like that, Checkmate, I mean, what do you do to deal with him? They're just giving outside up again. Yes, he's starting...
Just shoot him in the head, forehead.
Well, you have the Deeks. That's the perfect weapon to just splatter them, exactly. I suppose.
Yeah. Now you get it, Vince. Have you tried it?
I have, but my aim's trash, so...
I mean, you know, you're global when you want to be. When you're not busy. As if you're not busy ruining your ELO by playing with viewers, you know?
As if global means anything, though.
I'm trying to give you something, Vince, you know? Like, I'm just... I really am here. I'm grasping at straws a bit, but I am trying to support my man crush.
Okay.
That's on Monday, so that you're supposed to do that. Today's Friday, isn't it? So a little late on that.
Oh, Techno, that's the bomb as well. And he also lands the dink onto Zine. That so nearly was a ridiculous play, but normal service has resumed now, Dust. Bartak with Deagle, nice shot. Two players are also low, something to keep an eye on. But Impression, the full health allows him to alleviate the pressure and push him out. 6-1 now the score for NKT, but Checkmate will have a bye.
Indeed they will, but I mean, Zine has so much money at this point, dude. It's actually unreal. The economy of NKT overall fairly strong, so they're well set up going forward, unless they lose like maybe a couple of rounds in a row. Then that would pose some challenges, but I mean, Checkmate, this is kind of do or die, in my opinion. If you lose this, you're back to saving. NKT are up 8-1 on the T side of Nuke, and that is... It's recoverable, but it's going to be a labored one. So I feel like they just need this victory here to keep them in contention.
Well, point that maybe Checkmate push this panic button and try and get aggressive. Maybe this is that moment. Azteca walked straight into Squeaky, and there were 2 or 3 players sat waiting. And again, Dust, they've pushed outside, and again they're down Squeaky and Secret so fast.
Yes. Again, taking a very rapid map control, getting the opening pick, kind of picking up on Checkmate, trying to make that push. The Squeaky door had been blown earlier in the round, and so they were trying to do something different, you know, try to throw a wrench in NKT's game plan, but unfortunately, they just wind up with egg in their face. And so now they have to play a man behind with still a lot of clock left, and again, a lot of territory underneath NKT's control. And when you're up in a 5-on-4, you can now manipulate those rotations and, you know, create yourself an opening as Aircast starts clearing out these back halls.
Exactly. Allows them to have full control. They're taking their sweet time, but now the explosion comes in. They catch Kulast, who was flashed. Out comes Score. Oh, he's actually been team killed by Excurate. Not that there was anything that was necessarily wrong with the shot. It was just an unfortunate lineup. But either way,
yeah,
Techno was in a 1v3.
I hope we see that again, because that was actually really unfortunate. Can't blame Excurate at all for that.
Yeah, the player pushed in from main, I want to say it was, through a flash. There was chaos, and they just lined up. It was unfortunate for Score. I think he was low as well, so
yep,
these things happen.
Indeed. Doesn't matter when Aircast and Zine are just ripping face. I mean, look, what you have, like, on the entirety of Checkmate right now, you have, and math's always very dangerous for commentators,
18.
but I believe it would be, yeah. Bro, let me try. Give me a chance.
That was me trying to help you, Dust. You know, now we're
no,
even.
I didn't need it yet. The cogs were turning. I was using my, what the heck is that thing called? Never mind. That old school math device where, like, you slide the little things.
Abacus.
Like the old, thank you. Yeah, you nailed it. See, that's when I did need your help, and you came through. I didn't need your help for the last one. The point I was trying to make is that Zion and Aircast combined have the entirety of Checkmate covered in fragging.
Yes, that's true. That is a good point.
I hate you and love you at the same time. It's a very weird mental state to be in.
I mean, isn't that all sort of friendships and stuff, like, kind of roll into one, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, unlucky for Techno. He had the only rifle as well for Checkmate, so with his loss of life, more surely will follow. Impression during his due diligence, expecting that maybe a rotational element was coming outside. It hasn't come to fruition just yet. And Azteca downstairs being sneaky. That's how they got their one round, though, right? Downstairs on that secret corner. They didn't check the angle. He got punished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've nailed it. I don't even need to be here. You got this whole thing covered, man. You're crushing it.
As are NKT. This has looked so very straightforward for them.
Yes.
And we did say as well, Dust, you know, we were a little bit, I don't want to say skeptical, but we were a bit worried that they picked Nuke. We said, like, they have to have a game plan. This could easily go all right. Well, I think it's safe to say they've looked absolutely incredible so far.
Wonder what NKT.
I'm definitely not about to Google that.
Why not?
Doesn't say, does it?
Nice. I don't know. I was trying to come up with something. New Kicks team.
I'm searching, I can't find anything. It just is Team NKT. Everywhere I see it's just that. So maybe it doesn't stand for anything, Dust.
Nerd. Never mind. I'm done.
Nailed it.
Well, another corner not checked. Impression, though, quick on the trade, at the very least, minimizing the impact of that. Still getting that outside control. Though Impression has taken some heat to get that trade, so a bit of a softened target, but still able to get to secret side. start patrolling those stairs, threaten those back halls, and keep the CTs on their toes, as Checkmate are just so far behind. They have absolutely got to find a way to win this round. Otherwise, they will be down probably 10-1. And so we were kind of talking about, you know, the map pick on the surface looking a little bit odd just based on results, but clearly NKT had an understanding of things, and clearly it's panned out so far.
Astoundingly well it has, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Techno, I think that's a smoke he has lined up and ready to go. As soon as he sees a pixel, down it goes. But he is playing a dangerous game here. If one bullet lands through that smoke, it gives his position away. They can capitalize on that. But amazingly, he's lost only 2 HP, even though those bullets whizzing straight by him. 30 seconds though, Dust. This might be a chance for Checkmate finally.
I think they got this in the bag, man. They had such good positioning. It's going to be a late upper hit from NKT, and the angles that they're at is going to be so hard to clear. Well, still, this angle Azteca has, and Cool Ass is still here as well. Okay, I'm all the way out. I tried to give him some hope. I tried. I was really trying to build it up. I mean, to be fair, you must admit that they did have great positioning at upper site. Time was low. There was a big chance there for Checkmate. But instead, the king has been tipped over on the board. Now they're down. Likely going to be 1-10.
Oh, it's hard to see how it won't. And yeah, you're spot on. I mean, I'm looking at that round as well. 20 seconds left. Position's looking great, but you have to also say NKT's positioning in terms of the utility was flawless.
Yes.
The flashbang that detonated hit all 3 players simultaneously and allowed them to just walk out and get their entries. That was astounding.
Mm-hmm. I mean, NKT are on cruise control right now. Don't know what to say. This has been one of the more dominant games we've seen. Yeah. I mean, and you consider that the one round they did win was kind of fluky, if we're honest.
Yeah. One corner went unchecked. Deagle did the rest. However, one frags came down. Decent damage onto Excurate as well, so he has to tread lightly, but they're pushing down with Secret and Excurate. As the smoke clears, Blitz overextends and he gets punished.
Yeah, I mean, it was like one of those situations where he had like kind of the hero rifle in the situation, tries to make a big play outside, almost got it done, to be fair. Got the kill, got away. Thought maybe they would be able to get into kind of a tricky 5-on-4, but it was quickly gained back there from Excurate. Now it's just the pistols that are left. They can't even get that M4 back in their possession. NKT just kind of holding up and kind of waiting to see, you know, what type of hand the CTs want to play here. We are seeing Checkmate kind of just gather up together in ramp room. I wish I knew more chess references, but I've got none. Was always terrible at the game. My extent of playing chess is I know the rules of how the pieces can move. That's it. That's all I got.
It is a great game. It's been a while since I played, though, to be honest.
Yeah, and that while ago was you absolutely destroying me multiple times on your stream.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Got absolutely wrecked. I think they had one close game against you, and then the other, like, how many double-digit games we played, I got absolutely pantsed. So
7 seconds for this plant, but more than enough time for Excurate to dial in the digits and get it down on the ground. Some speculative shots out there from Secret, but it is more of the same. And yes, impression falls down, but what does it really matter come the end of this round? Sure, maybe they can save an AK. It's not too shabby.
Oh, 2 rifles maybe saved, actually. Yeah, earning it 2.
I thought he was going to be able to deny one of those, but he loses his head. So it looks like Checkmate will be able to save the 2 rifles, but it's a bit grim and depressing when the thing that we're getting hyped and excited about is the fact that Checkmate can save 2 weapons this round, but they're still losing it hard.
Yeah, I mean, if the score was like 1-4 and they were saving 2 weapons, I think it would be something maybe to get excited about. But when you're about to be down 1-10, who cares for you? You know? Let's be real about it.
Oh, he didn't get his hands on the AWP either, so that is pretty painful. But they can buy another one anyway. No, I totally agree with you. I mean, what could you really break down about this game, Dust? You know, like normally you want to get into the thick of it, you want to get the analysis on point, but at the end of the day, NKT have just been on a different level to Checkmate.
There's a reason why I've been talking about chess, what NKT stands for, and whatever other shenanigans I've been able to throw out here. It's because there ain't much to analyze. I can analyze this thing in one sentence, and that is, this has been a paddling.
You'll get no disagreement from me. Flashbang out again onto the site. It's a good entry. The flashes have been so good.
Good Lord.
Another blinded CT gets finished off without really firing anything in retaliation. An impression is low, but everyone else is looking pretty on full HP. Once again, a post plant on A, and once again, Checkmate can only back away and hope to save their weapons.
Bro, you're having to save when the score is 110. Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, I will try to give it a little bit more analysis, Vince. And I'm really having to, you know, fire every neuron, every synapse is clicking up here to try to get something out. And here we go. This is what I got. A, Checkmate are losing way too much map control way too fast. NKT are not only dictating the pace outside, but they're also able to get ramp whenever they want to. They're getting out into upper with little struggle. And I think a lot of that obviously has to do with Checkmate having limited utility due to their economy, certainly plays into it. But I think also the other big thing about it is that NKT's upper explosions, no matter what point in the round that they've pulled them off, you know, there's been some situations where it comes in the final 30 seconds. There's situations like that one where it's come pretty early on, when they know that the utility is low and they know that they can kind of get away with it because there's no way for the CTs to pre-molly hut and so on and so forth. And their upper attacks have been, as you've kind of highlighted multiple times, just so on point with the timing and the placement of the utility and the impact that their flashes have and how they, you know, molly their corners and just make sure that they kind of had their protocols on like who's looking out for what at what time. They just move together as a team so well. And Score getting a piece there. Had the spawn, gets the pick. I tried my best, Vince. That's all I got, by the way. That's it.
I think it was a solid assessment, really.
Yeah, best I could do. Blitz has a cool little one-way here. Nah, I can't find anything with it.
But there's always two sides to every story, and although NKT have been phenomenal, I have to say Checkmate have been lackluster as well. They haven't done very well at adapting or being versatile to a lot of these components, these moving parts that NKT have thrown out of them, and it just seems like they're a little bit lost, for want of a better term.
They're just moving pawns forward one square at a time. You know, nothing threatening coming out.
Sure. Exactly.
On this board.
You'd get that queen activated, you know.
Yeah, get something activated. Anything. There you go. Cool last nice little op shot there onto Impression. Gets it back into a 4-on-4. This is a full buy from Checkmate. They have burnt a good bit of utility already, but they have, again, good positioning. Has Tekka trying to get off of Hut and get a new angle. Oh my goodness. Zine is just not having it, dude. He's just not having it. Zine, I feel like, I don't even know where his 5 deaths come from because I swear every time we've watched him, he just doesn't miss.
He's just been so electric on these entries, man. Whether it's the Mach 10 early, or if it's these latter rounds where he just walks out onto A site by himself and frags down. He has died to the hands of Blitz, but it's a post-plant frag, which maybe turns into more, but Score holds the line on 21 HP. And Kulast with only an AWP and a CZ by his side to try and remedy the situation. And he can't even finish off the low and weakened Score, who rips him to shreds instantly. And it's yet another round to NKT.
I mean, I don't know what to say, Vince. The score says it all. You know, you have some of those games that are one-sided on the scoreboard, but they're actually closer than what the scoreboard indicates. Nah, not this time. This is pretty much it.
No, in all honesty, it's more a surprise this isn't 13-0.
Yeah. Again, their one win is off of one unchecked corner. And someone gets like a double deke play. I can't remember exactly who it was from Checkmate who pulled that off, but...
That was Hasteka.
Okay, well, that's their one round.
And that was 2 out of his 4 frags he's picked up.
Yeah. And now they come into this round with a couple of FAMAS and low utility once more. Not a single incendiary to stuff a choke point. And so they threatened the fast upper take from NKT, knowing that, but they're not going to go off of it. They're going to still just kind of take their time, paving the way outside. There is an op down, though, watching that secret position, so that could make things interesting. And Blitz does a chance spray through the smoke and does connect the dots there. Blitz able to finish it off. So maybe there's a chance, Vince. You're saying there's hope.
Well, there is. This is one of the best chances, and Kulas has also put the bullet down range, lands a shot onto another player. Actually, he didn't. I thought he actually connected a shot, but it was him that took the shot. Instead, he decides to re-peek, and NKT comes straight back into the round with 2 insta-headshots.
Yeah. Techno able to get down to the lower floor, though, but he gets spotted by Excurate. That's going to be a kill. Smoke the... Get the cross for the bomb to safely tuck in and plant Silo. Has Tekka, though. Gets a nice little spot here on the balcony. Could be good for a frag, depending on Impression's positioning. As he tries to creep around to the opposite corner, trying to scope things out. Now knows one is still in sight behind Silo. But knowing is half the battle. He gets the kill, gets it back into a 2-2, can smoke. Maybe even that defuse, but oh, Zine. This maneuver.
Oh, that's it.
Oh my goodness.
That's surely it.
Oh, yeah, it is now at that Molotov.
Yep. Because although Zion was low, he obviously has extra that he can play off as well. And Zion gets put down as he tries to go hunting for the last frag. Azteca may die to the bomb here. This is fine for NKT. Actually survives. I'm surprised
how
he's
they
able
both
to survive that. Well, is that bomber faulty? Oh no, what the hell was that?
They're right there. How is that possible? Huh? I had no clue you could survive there. I'm gonna be real. I thought for sure they were both done. I thought maybe like a corner of that window room was safe, but I mean, surely the guy literally on the ramp should be gone to that bomb explosion.
I guess.
I mean, you are blowing up what looks to be a nuclear reactor, so really the whole map should be going. You know, like, I'm not a physicist, but I think if you blow up a nuclear silo thing, bad things probably happen.
Well, yeah, they're both going to die to radiation poisoning. I think we can at least put it down to that one.
But that might be years from now,
sure.
Though, fortunately for this game.
Already downstairs, Techno, good shots, connecting, and a third. Looking good. The Checkmate at least will come out of this half with 2. Unlikely to be enough, but at least it does play for a little bit more pride. And our Score, who's stuck in the middle of nowhere on Squeaky, has to try and traipse over. Last round of the half, of course, he's absolutely going for this one. And he has a smoke and a Molotov alongside him to accompany his pursuit forward. Made noise, elephants his way down to vents, but takes down the first player. It's not clean, so another bullet and he's gone, but he's taken down 2 players, and he still has a minute to play with. This isn't entirely out of the realms of possibility all of a sudden. This is maybe doable.
With the bomb placement and the angles that Checkmate have, I mean, it would have to be a scorcher of a clutch for Score to get this one back. Especially with him already being at 40 HP. Yeah, this would be... If Checkmate lose this, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
There we have it. Well, 1v5, he at least made a real go of it. Nice try from Score, but it will be Checkmate getting their second round. They're still, however, does 13-2 as we move into our second half.
Yeah, not much to say, so we'll just let the highlights do the talking for us, as it was essentially just that NKT highlight reel. Take it away.
We have returned, ladies and gentlemen, to our second half of Nuke between Checkmate and NKT. I guess the teams wanted to get this one over and done with as soon as possible. After that first half was a bit of a scorcher. Very much in favor of NKT, if we're being honest.
Yeah, if you're Checkmate, you want to memory hold that thing for sure.
Oh, yeah. What first half, Dust? What are you talking about? It never happened.
And timeout, of course, immediately. What?
If I was speculating, I'd say they jumped the gun a little bit and they called the timeout for us to catch up. Because normally the break, I think, would be a little bit longer. But that's pure speculation on my part. The timeout has come and gone, and now we are ready to get back underway. It's pretty simple. If Checkmate don't win this pistol, it's done. And even if they do, if I'm being completely honest, Dust, I haven't seen anything that makes me have faith that they can actually bring this one back.
It would be quite the comeback. And I know Nuke was known for its comebacks back in the day, but from the other side.
Yeah, exactly. It used to be a CT 13-2, like 11-4 sort of half, not the T side, for God's sake. However, they have found the site that had absolutely no defenders present. So NKT are playing for the retake, but they have 2 smokes on this retake, and they have a HE and a flash, and of course the kit in the hands of Impression, who's waiting to line up his smoke. All the plays.
What this is about. Let's see.
They're looking to try and push their way in. Bartak down on the lower side is anticipating that flash to come in. Peeks back up. Good frags coming from him and Techno. And another 4 bodies hit the floor in the space of a few moments. And Urkast, as well as he has played, can only really sit and watch as his teammates fall around him. And now he will join them in the afterlife. So the pistol has gone the way of Checkmate. Maybe they can start to build back in towards this map, but it's going to take them a long time before we begin to believe.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are going to see a couple of Deagles get purchased there by NKT. So it looks like they might throw a little bit of something out there in this one. Indeed, some Deagles and CZs and some utility. So if Checkmate can get past this test, then they should be able to jump up to 5 before NKT can get their full buy. But again, still really behind. And they have to make sure they don't fall prey to these pistols.
You have to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself from that first half. One of the few bits of success that Checkmate have enjoyed, I should say, and NKT have had to endure. Score gets dinked, but not really any damage, which I'm kind of surprised that he was still fairly healthy after that one. He has been forced away, though. And Blitz has opened his account alongside Azteca, so this force buy hasn't really paid out too much so far, Dust.
No, not at all. Blitz does get caught there. Galil might get picked up. Yes, Azteca also low on HP. But they're still going to get this bomb plan. They still have a 4-on-2. They have good post-plan positioning, so they should be taking this. But it does get interesting that a Deagle and a Galil get saved, so despite the fact that they are going to be on a full save otherwise, they will at least carry over a couple of weapons that could maybe cause them some chances to pose a small threat to Checkmate. But all in all, still will be 4-13. Still Checkmate a great opportunity to probably push it to 5-13. And so, while they are still a long ways away from posing a real threat, they are starting to put together those beginning little bits to maybe build a foundation.
Yeah, it has to be brick by brick. It has to be long, arduous. It's not an easy task. But it's one that they've started in the correct way. The problem, though, when we've seen this in the South American RMR as well, that we were casting just last week, Dust, where there was this comeback started, everything was looking good, and then it just takes one mistake, one moment of brilliance from NKT in this situation, and things can come crumbling down so quickly. It has to be a flawless T side for the most part here. And even then, that might not be good enough. However, they have every opportunity to pick up their 5th round. It's a Galil, as you touched on, in the hands of Zine, and some Deagles as well, and a HE. But outside control being established early on. This is going to be a recurring theme. Impression hasn't fully given away his position just yet alongside Urkast, but he takes a grenade all the same, down to 19.
Yeah, Impression and Aircast are bleeding out right now on that upper site. In the meantime, Checkmate taking control of those back halls. Blitz still anticipating aggression inside the lobby, making sure that he's got all of his Angle's covered. Xcurate spotting a player outside. Just the one, though, so not getting too much of a read just yet. And now he's not getting any more reads. He's been taken off the battlefield. Nice little one-top there from Bartak. That Deagle and Galil are still in play. And they do have a bit of an upper stack. But you're still fancying Checkmate's chances here.
No doubt. Have to be a big moment from one of these players, and considering that two of them are wielding USPs, very unlikely they've both just been put down with authority. Zion's gone unchecked, but Azteca turns up the pace, stays alive. 13-5 has been reached, but there is a buy incoming.
Yeah, this will be the first real test for Checkmate. They're going to come into this with a full buy, full utility, all the AKs. But now there's a full buy up from NKT, including an op for Xcurate. They're going to have plenty of utility in their own right. And if Checkmate can get past this battle, then it gets a little bit interesting. Because NKT's probably back onto a say that's probably 7-13. And all of a sudden, you know, things get a little spicy.
Yeah, that Simmer has now been put into position, hasn't it? And it just has to keep cooking away for a while before this gets into a delicious comeback situation. NKT in the meanwhile, though, with the open hands of Xcurate, looking to try and get aggressive downstairs. Zion preemptively tossing the smoke down in case the secret push had come in, but they've actually bypassed it. They go through main in the hands of Bartak, straight across to the site, and they find out that it's completely vacated again.
Yeah, Score still holding ramp position, does take out Azteca. That opens up a lobby flank option to make this retake a little bit, you know, easier, and they will have man advantage. They do have some flashes as well to put to use, but that Molotov going to kind of slow them down. And now Blitz is going to get caught by Score, and so they're just kind of running people out there, and this is going to put them in a tough spot to hold site now.
This reeks of desperation. Now the flash is going to proceed the push, and the spray transfer is good. Kulast still alive at the site, but had so many angles to cover, and Bartak is the last player to fall. And with a lack of kit, it's going to be very close, but they should have this defuse. Indeed they will, with a couple of moments to spare. So it will be 14-5, but that reeked of desperation to me, Dustin. A 5v5 when you have players pushing left and right. What were they thinking?
Yeah, I don't really know. I get the idea of not wanting to be pigeonholed on a post plant to just all playing on site. You kind of want to control something else as well. But I feel like lobby was enough. Going for the long con attempt at flanking ramp into heaven just seemed unnecessarily risky. Especially on such a must-win round.
That's always the risk and danger, isn't it? We were just talking about it before. You can start fantastically, you can start pretty much flawlessly, but when you're at this kind of a deficit, it only takes one lapse in judgment or communication and everything comes crashing down around you. They're going to be going in for the smokes again outside, smoking off garage, smoking off the cross, allows them to bypass in towards the garage area, and Urkas decides to try and go around the edges of the smoke on the periphery. They can't see anything.
Get a little bit of cat and mouse here as Aircast kind of tucked to this corner. Could easily get wrapped around upon through Big Garage. There is a player in that corner. Aircast, I'm sure, is aware of it being possible. Checks it and nails it. Really well done by Aircast. Great awareness. Score also now picking up an op shot here onto ramp. Impression about to catch Blitz off guard. And this game might as well be done. It's about to be 15-5, and Checkmate's money is about to be in the bin on several of their players. Though they still will have enough for a full buy, and obviously they'll buy what they can. It could be final round, but I mean, they just are showing no real signs of life.
Yeah, exactly. Even with weapons in their hands, does it really make that much of a difference is how I'm feeling about this one. And Score, bullet to the head of Kulast, overkill with the ups, about 400 damage worth of firepower and 10 map points on NKT's choice. It should be mentioned this is their choice of map, but statistically, Dust, we expected this one to be fairly close.
Yeah, I mean, so far, the boys over at Checkmate had won all of their Nuke games at this point with this lineup. So definitely did anticipate that they would still be, you know, fairly competitive. Well,
is it going to be a heroic last push? Or is is it going to be a bit of a whimper come the end of this engage? So far, so bad. As Impression and Zine have both sprayed down, it's looking like it's all over. Just a matter of moments away. And NKT put the final nail in the coffin of Nuke, and they're one map away from eliminating